You think being human makes you strong? It doesn't. Being human makes you fragile. It makes you soft. It makes you crave comfort, mercy, and love in a world that was never built to give them freely. The truth? Humanity is a weakness disguised as virtue. And the day you let go of it, the day you stop pretending to be soft, stop pretending to be safe, stop pretending that the world owes you anything, that's the day you stop breaking. That's the day you start becoming something else. I can never be human again, but that's why I'll never be weak. The body breaks, the spirit shatters. The people you trust betray you. The world steps on you without remorse. Most crumble, most collapse, most beg for relief. But there are those who do not beg. There are those who do not kneel. There are those who stand in the fire even as it devours them, and they whisper, "More." Pain is not your enemy, it is your metamorphosis. The flesh screams, the bones ache, the mind fractures. And in that destruction, something darker is born, something unshakable. Every scar you carry is proof that weakness was peeled off of you layer by layer. Every wound that never healed is proof that you survived the impossible. Pain doesn't ruin you. Pain sculpts you. Pain remakes you into something the fragile will never understand. Humans fear being alone more than they fear death. That's why they cling to lies, to comfort, to shallow connections. But solitude, true solitude, is not emptiness, it is revelation. When the crowd is gone, when the love fades, when no one is there to applaud or pity you, what remains? You. The real you. The broken you. The hungry you. The part of you that no one else has the power to kill. Alone, you learn discipline. Alone, you learn hunger. Alone, you face the mirror and understand that if you ever want to stand, if you ever want to rise, you must do it with your own blood, your own hands, your own will. You want to grow? Then stop fearing loneliness. Make it your ally. Let silence devour you until all that remains is focus. Not metaphorical darkness, not sadness, real darkness. The place inside of you where mercy has burned away, where the old version of you, soft, naive, breakable, has been buried. Darkness is not a cage, it is a weapon. When you step into it, you stop playing by the rules of the world. You stop begging to be human. You stop searching for light. You become the thing the light cannot burn. And once you accept that, you stop being afraid. Because fear lives only in those who still dream of safety. You want strength? Stop trying to stay human. Humans break. Humans cry. Humans beg. Become something else. Something forged in pain. Something sharpened by solitude. Something armored in darkness. Most people will never understand this. They want strength without scars. They want growth without loss. They want victory without war. And that is why they remain weak. The world doesn't bend for the weak. The world devours them. But you're not weak anymore. You've already lost the illusion of being human. You've already been broken. And in that breaking, you've discovered something far more terrifying than strength. Endlessness. The ability to keep rising again and again, no matter how much blood you spill, no matter how many times you're crushed, no matter how many times the world tries to bury you. That's why nothing can stop you. Let them call you a monster. Let them spit your name with disgust. Let them tremble when they see the scars, when they feel the weight of your silence, when they realize you don't play by their rules anymore. Good. Monsters don't break. Monsters don't kneel. Monsters don't beg. Monsters devour. Monsters rise. Monsters endure. So burn your weakness. Bury your softer self. Cut away the fragile humanity that chained you. And when the world looks at you, waiting for you to fall, smile, because you already did. And when you rose, you became something they will never understand. I can never be human again, but that's why I'll never be weak. You think suffering will end? It won't. Not for you, not for anyone. Life doesn't run out of ways to break you. It doesn't run out of knives to twist into your chest. It doesn't run out of shadows to bury you beneath. And here's the cruelest truth of all. No one is coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not your gods. No one. This world isn't built to catch you when you fall. It is built to crush you, bury you, and move on like you never existed. The only hands that will ever drag you back from the abyss are your own. Weakness is a disease. It spreads fast. It whispers lies. It convinces you that comfort is survival, that rest is safety, that surrender is mercy. But weakness is not mercy. Weakness is the noose around your neck. Weakness is the poison in your veins. Weakness is the silent killer that rots you from the inside until there's nothing left but ashes. The only cure? Violence. The violence of discipline. The violence of refusing to kneel. The violence of slaughtering the weaker version of yourself every single day. Discipline is the battlefield where humanity dies. Because discipline doesn't care about your feelings. Discipline doesn't care about your excuses. Discipline doesn't care that you're tired, broken, or bleeding. Discipline demands execution. Wake when the body screams. Push when the lungs burn. Rise when the mind collapses. That's where monsters are born. Not in talent, not in gifts, not in miracles, but in blood, in sweat, in scars that no one applauds and no one sees. Darkness is your inheritance now, and in it, you will learn what humanity never could. That pain sharpens, that solitude strengthens, that scars do not shame you, they crown you. They say monsters are cursed. They say monsters are damned. They say monsters are less than human. They are wrong. Monsters are more relentless, more enduring, more unbreakable. And when the world trembles before strength it cannot understand, when the so-called strong fall to their knees in fear, when the fragile cry for mercy that will never come, that's when you'll know the truth. This was never a curse. This was liberation. Because you can never be human again. But that's why you'll never be weak. You are the reckoning. You are the silence before the storm, the shadow behind the light, the hunger that never ends. They can break your body, tear your flesh, chain your soul, but you will rise. Every time. Stronger, harder, darker. And when they ask you how you survived, smile. Because the answer will terrify them. You didn't survive. You transformed. And now, nothing can stop you. You think this path is about becoming stronger? It's not. Strength is only the surface. Strength is the shadow of something greater. This path is about obliteration. Obliterating the lies you were raised on. Obliterating the fragile walls you built to protect yourself. Obliterating the soft illusions that told you life would ever be kind. Because life is not kind. It is merciless. It watches you bleed and it doesn't blink. It watches you drown and it doesn't reach. It watches you scream and it doesn't answer. And still you rise. Every scar is a sermon. Every drop of blood is a scripture. Every fall is a ritual of rebirth. Understand this. You are not broken because you suffer. You are broken if you run from it. You are broken if you choose to stay weak, if you choose comfort, if you choose the coward's life of silence and surrender. Pain is the teacher. Suffering is the test. Darkness is the classroom. And most will fail because they beg for light, because they worship comfort, because they think salvation is a gift instead of something you must tear from the jaws of death itself. But not you. You don't beg. You don't pray. You don't ask for mercy. You take the pain and you carve it into armor. You take the loneliness and you forge it into weapons. You take the betrayal, the loss, the heartbreak, the despair, and you devour it until it becomes fuel. That's the truth no one will tell you. The world doesn't care about your suffering, but it will respect your scars. Because scars prove you didn't just survive. You chose to keep walking into the fire. Do you know what separates the strong from the weak? It isn't talent. It isn't luck. It isn't some divine blessing. It's the refusal to die when death is the easier choice. It's the refusal to bend when breaking would end the pain. It's the refusal to stop even when the body begs and the mind fractures and the soul burns. Most people will break themselves to escape the fight. The rare few will break themselves to finish it. And here is the abyssal truth you must etch into your veins. You can never be human again. You are something else now. Humanity is comfort. Humanity is frailty. Humanity is compromise. But you are the shadow that stalks weakness. You are the nightmare that devours mediocrity. You are the hunger that cannot be fed. You have seen too much, felt too much, suffered too much to ever crawl back into the fragile skin of who you once were. You are no longer a man. You are the reckoning. And when the so-called strong look down on you, when they mock you, dismiss you, underestimate you, let them. Because the moment they look away, the blade you sharpened in silence will cut them down. Their crowns will crumble. Their thrones will collapse. Their power will bleed away. And you will be the one standing above the ruins, not because the world lifted you there, but because you refused to stay in the dirt where it left you. So let them call you cursed. Let them call you damned. Let them call you a monster. Because monsters don't beg. Monsters don't kneel. Monsters don't break. And monsters do not lose. You can never be human again. But that is why you will never, ever be weak. You want the truth? Weakness is a disease. It seeps into your bones, infects your thoughts, poisons your will. And the world feeds it. Comfort, distractions, cheap pleasures, all designed to keep you docile, fat, and slow. But weakness has only one cure: violence. Not against others, against yourself. Every day you kill the part of you that wants to quit. Every day you put the coward inside you to the sword. Every day you bury the soft voice that whispers, "Rest, stop, enough." There is no enough. Not here. Not for you. The weak will look at you and see madness. They'll see obsession. They'll see a monster. Good. Because only monsters survive this world. Only monsters stare into the abyss and keep walking. Only monsters understand that strength isn't inherited. It's stolen, piece by piece, from suffering itself. And you must suffer. You must choose to suffer. Because without pain, you will never be reborn. Do you think fire asks if the wood is ready to burn? Do you think the storm asks if the sea is ready to drown? No. They destroy because that is what they are. And that is what you must become. Not someone who waits for permission, not someone who bows for acceptance, but someone who takes what cannot be given, who becomes what cannot be broken. The strongest fall not because they are weak, but because they grow comfortable. They mistake the throne for safety. They mistake their victories for immortality. But you will never mistake comfort for peace. You will never let victory rot you from the inside. Because you know this war never ends. Because you know the abyss never sleeps. Because you know weakness is always waiting to return. And the only way to kill it is to sharpen yourself daily until even your reflection fears you. You cannot be human again. Not after what you've seen. Not after what you've endured. Humanity is a coffin built for the weak. You are not a prisoner of pain. You are its weapon. You are not the victim of suffering. You are the beast it forged. So let them call you inhuman. Let them spit the word monster at your feet. Because monsters are not broken by pain. Monsters are born from it. And monsters cannot be stopped. You think you want peace? Peace is a lie. Peace is decay. Peace is the death of hunger, and with it, the death of strength. What you need is war. War with the weights. War with the miles. War with the demons in your mind that scream for rest, for comfort, for escape. Do not silence them. Kill them. Every rep is a bullet in their skull. Every run is a blade across their throat. Every scar is a grave for the weaker version of you. So when the world tells you to stop, don't stop. When your body begs for mercy, don't listen. When your mind fractures under the pressure, smile and press harder. Because you are no longer fighting for progress. You are fighting for war itself. And war has no finish line. War has no peace. War only ends when you do. And if you are cursed to walk this path until the end, then walk it with fire. Walk it with rage. Walk it with the merciless hunger of a creature who knows he can never be human again and is grateful for it. Because humanity is fragile. Humanity is breakable. Humanity bows. But you will not bow. You will not break. You will not die quietly. You are not a survivor. You are not a victim. You are not even alive in the way they are. You are the reckoning. You are the scar across the world's face. You are the hunger that cannot be fed, the shadow that cannot be killed, the fire that cannot be extinguished. And when they look at you in fear, when they whisper monster, smile. Because monsters don't die. Monsters don't kneel. Monsters never return to being human. And that is why you will never, ever be weak. The dark will try to own you. It will whisper cowardice in your ear and offer the easy map back to flesh and softness. Those whispers are traps. They are sugar-laced death. When the dark calls, do not answer with pleading, answer with a roar. Make the night your training ground. Let every echo of doubt become ammunition. Hunger is a law, not a feeling. Feed it properly, with cold mornings, with extra reps, with one more mile when your lungs are full of lies. Let your hands know the taste of work until they forget what leisure feels like. Let your mind be so busy earning its edge that there is no space left for excuses. That is how the monster grows in habit, in ritual, in the slow violence of daily execution. You will lose what most people keep: comfort, easy love, the safety of small talk, and polite retreat. Good. Those are the chains you must break. When everyone else chooses softness, you choose the grind. When everyone else sleeps, you lace up. When everyone else forgives themselves for being late, you sharpen the clock and punish your delay. That is what separates the hunted from the hunter. And when they bring heroes, men gilded in praise, crowned by the lazy, watch them closely. Admire the arrogance. Let it fuel you. They stand on borrowed light. Their thrones were built on days they never had to bleed. You have bled, you still bleed. That wound is not a weakness, it is your pedigree. It stains the steps you climb, and with every stain you take another rung. There will come an hour when everything you have cut away returns, screaming for mercy. In that hour you will not beg, you will not bargain, you will cut deeper. You will make the pain the instrument of your will. When the world expects sobbing, you will smile and move forward. When fate intends to bury you, you will dig the grave wider and use it to bury your enemies. Now go forge the end of your legend. Make every small cruelty the extra rep, the cold shower, the refusal to rest a sacrament. Make the hunger an anthem. Make your life a place where comfort is desecrated and survival is rewritten in iron and ash. This is no pep talk. This is a summons. Unleash the thing in you that does not ask permission. Hunt until crowns are dust. Bleed until your name is a warning. Become what they whisper about when the lights go out. Be the monster they warn their children of. Be the storm they pray will pass. Be the blade that never dulls. When the world breaks, you will not. When the weak kneel, you will rise. You are the nightmare that never sleeps, the blade that never rusts. Monsters don't quit, they conquer.